So it's 2026, and AI isn't just a tool we use anymore. Nope, it's an observer. It's constantly watching us. But you know, the craziest part? The most intense surveillance isn't happening through some camera lens you can spot. It's unfolding all around us, in our workplaces, on our social media, and even in the invisible airwaves of our own homes.
All right, let's start with the stuff we can actually see. Take a look at this number, 82%. That's Meta's market share for AI smart glasses. I mean, these wearable cameras are popping up everywhere, which really makes you wonder about privacy when you're just walking down the street, right?
Okay, so let's jump from the cameras we can see to the code that we can't. A whopping 96% of companies are now using software to monitor their employees. Think about that. What used to be pretty rare is now just standard procedure in pretty much any job.
But this is where things get really wild. The biggest leap in surveillance is happening on a level that is completely invisible. We're talking about technology that turns the gadgets you already have in your home into incredibly powerful sensors. So powerful, they can detect not just that you're in a room, but the actual rhythm of your breathing.
So you might be asking, how on earth is any of this possible? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how it works. We'll look at everything, from the cameras on our faces to the algorithms in our apps, and yeah, even those invisible sensors in our homes.
First up, let's tackle the most obvious form of AI surveillance, those smart glasses and cameras that seem to be everywhere now. They're sold to us as these amazing, convenient devices, but they come with a pretty serious hidden cost for everyone else. And that brings us to the core conflict, the real tug-of-war with wearable tech. For the person wearing the glasses, hey, it's awesome, right? Hands-free everything. But for every single person around them, it's that nagging feeling that you might be on camera without ever giving permission. It's a direct clash between one person's convenience and everyone else's privacy.
And this isn't just some what-if scenario. This quote, it's real. It came out of the big controversy with Meta's Human Review program. See, they hired contractors to watch and label video from smart glasses to help train the AI. And those reviewers, they saw it all. The most private, intimate moments, sensitive financial info, you name it.
And look, it's not just a Meta problem. Every major wearable out there brings its own flavor of surveillance risk to the table. With Meta, it's the risk of some random reviewer watching your private life. With Apple's Vision Pro, the danger is totally different. It's about profiling what you're subconsciously interested in by tracking your eyes. And then, you have devices like Rockhead, which basically makes secret recording incredibly easy for anyone.
Okay, let's pivot from the hardware to the software, into what's called the Algorithmic Panopticon. It's a pretty heavy term, but the idea is simple. It's like a digital prison where you're always being watched, not by a person, but by automated systems that track what you do at work and in your personal life.
So in today's workplace, digital snooping is just business as usual. Yeah, almost everyone tracks time, but get this. A massive 86% of companies are now monitoring what their employees are doing in real time. This is a huge shift. We've gone from just clocking in and out to having every single click and keystroke analyzed.
And this kind of constant monitoring, it definitely doesn't stop when you clock out. Our passive habits online, how fast you scroll through a feed or how long you pause on a certain post, that's all being used to build a psychological profile on you. LinkedIn got hit with a massive fine for doing just that, using these little signals to guess really personal stuff like your political views or even your mental health. Which of course raises this massive question for all of us. Where's the line? At what point does a company's goal of being productive turn into this creepy, invasive surveillance that's judging every little thing we do?
And now we've arrived at the part of this explainer that, frankly, is the most unsettling. We're talking about technology that's completely invisible. This is where the actual infrastructure of our buildings, our homes, our offices is being transformed into a giant sensor grid.
First, there's the rise of something called emotion AI. These systems do way more than just read the words you type. They combine everything, your vocal tone, your facial microexpressions, your language, all to figure out how you're feeling. And this tech is already being looked at for everything from marketing to hiring.
But honestly, the most mind-blowing type of invisible surveillance has to be Wi-Fi sensing. This technology literally turns the radio waves from your internet router into a motion detection system. It doesn't need a camera or a mic to know you're there. It can actually sense your physical presence right through the air.
And how it works is actually pretty simple, but the implications are huge. So 1, your router sends out its signals just like it always does. 2, your body, just by being there,
disrupts those signals. And 3, an AI analyzes those tiny disruptions. So the same network that gives you internet access can now physically sense you.
This creates a massive problem for public spaces. I mean, think about it. When this tech is active in an airport, or an office, or a coffee shop, how do you consent to that? You can't. The whole idea of opting in or out just collapses. As one privacy expert perfectly put it, leaving is not a civil liberty, it is exile. Well, with surveillance getting this widespread, it's really no surprise that people and regulators are finally starting to push back. And that's leading to some absolutely massive fines and some game-changing new laws to try and protect us.
No, that is not a typo. $650 million. That was the size of the settlement Meta had to pay for breaking Illinois' really strict biometric privacy law. Basically, they got caught collecting facial geometry from people's photos without giving clear consent, and the penalty, well, it was staggering.
And in response to all these new threats, we're seeing the first big regulatory counterattack. The European Union's AI Act is this totally groundbreaking law that just outright bans the most dystopian uses of AI, things like social scoring, while putting super tight regulations on high-risk systems used for important stuff like hiring or getting a loan.
So, what's the bottom line here? What does this all add up to? Well, from the cameras on our faces to the invisible signals bouncing around our homes, the whole idea of what it means to consent is just falling apart. We're walking into a world where being watched is the default, and privacy is becoming a luxury very few of us can afford.
And that forces us to change the question we're asking. It's no longer just, is this technology safe? The real question we need to ask is, safe for whom? Is it designed to be safe for the user, or for the person being recorded without even knowing it? Or is it really just designed to safely and efficiently turn our lives into data for a company's bottom line? Answering that, that's the challenge of our time.